Hey everyone, this is Michael Brook from Rapid Couples Counselling, and this video is entitled, What I Would Say to a Couple That's Just Getting Married. Now, I don't get invited to many weddings these days, and given the fact that I've spent a stack of time watching people in their marriages in front of me, it might be a difficult experience for me to go and watch a wedding and try and be hopeful. One of the things I find very curious is the extent to which people don't understand what they're getting into when they're getting married, right? And a lot of people don't really understand some fundamental things. And this video is an attempt at a very, very brief video to what I would say to people who are thinking about getting married. The first one is it's really important that you don't take your partner for granted. The biggest mistake most people make in long-term relationships and in marriages is they take their partner for granted. They think that just because their partner's made a decision to be with them forever in the wedding ceremony, that decision is going to be continually remade. This is not true. These days, marriage has a 60% failure rate. Like if someone was to design a product or a car that was going to crash 60% of the time, it would never be allowed to be used in the marketplace. You would never be able to sell such a thing. But nevertheless, people these days will and continue to engage in an experience that has a 60% failure rate. That's a first marriage, and it gets worse with every second or third marriage, right? So it's really important to recognize that just because your partner is choosing you on the wedding day, that doesn't mean they're going to continue to choose you. They continue to choose you by you showing up. And if you take your partner for granted, that puts your relationship at substantial peril. That's the first thing I would say to people. Next thing is it's really important to understand that desire is not a natural function. It's incredibly important for you to understand this. Desire is not a natural function. When you get involved with someone, when you marry them, normally when people on their wedding day, they desire the person like crazy. But that desire slips away. It's not permanent. And a lot of people want desire to be permanent in the relationship. And desire is literally not a natural function. It has to be continually rebuilt. It has to be continually recreated by you behaving desirably and by you showing your partner that you desire them and by them doing the same thing. And that's the only way desire can stay alive in a relationship. And if desire dies, one or both people get to the point where they look at their partner and go, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. That saying of I love you, but I'm not in love with you is an expression of the fact that desire has stopped in their relationship. So it's incredibly important to recognize that desire is not a natural function. The next thing is that sex is a team sport and requires a commitment to it. Now, sex is different from desire. Desire is the wanting of someone. Sex is what you do with your body. And sex can change over time. It always does. And over a period of time, people lose desire for sex for a number of different reasons. Kids show up, work stress, long-term chronic stress in men can reduce their desire for sex by 70%. Desire for sex in women can totally crater after a baby, or either postpartum or when women are breastfeeding. And there's a whole lot of things that can actually get in the way, both neurological, hormonal, and from a lifestyle perspective, they can get in the way of having good sexual engagement. But it's something you need to make a top priority, and you need to maintain it as a top priority in your relationship. I've said in previous videos before, the European Institute of Marriage asked 20,000 people leaving a long-term relationship, and they asked them what their number one reasons for leaving their long-term relationship or marriage was, and dissatisfaction in the sexual relationship was number one or number two for 70% of the respondents. So for 70% of people, the dissatisfaction in the relationship gets to a point where they go, I'm done, your relationship is smoked. So it's really important you need to recognize the fact that sex needs to be a top priority. The next thing I'd say, it's really important for you to make room for the two people in your relationship to thrive. What that means is that it's really important for your needs need to be met, your dreams and desires need to be met, and it's really important for your partner's dreams and desires to be met by the relationship. And for the two of you, you need to be working towards a life that you both want. Sometimes one person will put their dreams and desires aside in order for the benefit of the relationship or the benefit of the family. For example, someone might do a job that they hate just because they have to do the provider thing. Or some people will, say for example, a lot of women will put their careers to the side for 5 or 10 years while they're having kids and while they're doing the primary caregiving. And then once that period of time's over, the relationship needs to accommodate and the certain changes need to be made in order for that person to be able to have their dreams and desires as well. So there needs to be room for the two of you to thrive. And the final one that I would say to people is mutuality must be at the heart of your relationship. So what does that mean? Well, mutuality means that your needs need to be met and my needs need to be met. And both of our needs need to be met in equal measure. And you need to be both actively seeking to meet your partner's needs permanently. Now, a lot of people have got this idea, there's a common cultural theme called happy wife, happy life, right? That whole happy wife, happy life thing is a statement of slavery. You do not want to turn the husband or the man in the relationship into his wife's slave. But because if that happens, sooner or later, most people will not sign up to slavery. And sooner or later, most people go, hang on, I'm not happy. My needs aren't being met. Now, if you do that for a short period of time, the wife might be going, great, all of my needs are being met. But the problem is when you get that one up, one down kind of power dynamic in a relationship, that kills desire and it kills sex, right? And you do not want desire and sex to be killed in your relationship by the happy wife, happy life thing. Mutuality must be at the heart of a relationship. Both people's needs must be being met, and both people need to actively seeking to meet each other's needs. And if you buy into the happy wife, happy life thing, I can guarantee you your relationship will end up in a crisis or you'll end up getting divorced. It's really important for both people to realize that is absolutely toxic bullshit, and both of you need to actively make sure you don't do that. So these are things I would say to people if I was to talk to a couple to give them premarital counselling. These are the fundamental things that I would talk about. So if you are getting married and you're interested in getting some help, please give me a call on 0432 681 321. You can save yourself a tremendous amount of heartache by going to see someone who actually understands the problems couples go through before you end up going through them, whilst things are at their best. The best time to put preventative strategies in place for things fucking up is before they started to fuck up. So I hope this has helped. Please give me a call if you're having a problem. My number is 0432 681 321. If you're having difficulty in your relationship, there's a booking link in the description. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to making more quality content for you shortly. Thanks very much. Bye.